Welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm gonna show you how to create an infinity light effect like this. Alright, so if you go to Google and try to find infinity lights, you can see the people have it, they use it in different kinds of effects and stuff like that. Also, if you check a lot of people, I've seen a lot of coffee tables, is something like that. They put infinity lights in the center just to create some interesting effects. All right, so many people use it for different things. I've seen people use it for like a bedside table or something, bedside light, so it's used in many different places. Even this is something like this, some even buy it and just put it in their homes, and for it's the different people use it for the different kind of stuff, right? So I'm going to show you how to make it in Maya, that we can create this kind of tunnel, even make it deeper, stuff like that. All right, so let's get into Maya and get started. So here, first of all, we're gonna create let's make a simple one, like let's create a box here. Start with a box here, and for this box I'm going to make it let's say on the x-axis, let's make it something like 45, and the depth here we make it maybe also 45, and maybe the height, let's make it something like 12, like that. Okay, this will be like the stand for our light. So what we can do is let's create a subdivision here. Oops, that's too much. Let's reduce that to like, let's say 6, and just add it. No, I think I want 4. Let's say 2 actually, and create something like this, and we just drag it there. What we can do is to bevel this one, and yeah, I think this is good, and then maybe just add another division right there. So let's come to here and grab this one and reduce it, something like that, and this one as well, just reduce it maybe like this. So what we can do now is to grab this one and this one, just delete it, and then we can just bridge, grab this and grab this one, come here and bridge, and then we can grab this one and that one, press G to bridge it, and this one and this one, then we can also bridge it. Let's do the same on this side. Oops, I meant to bridge, and here click on that one, press G, this one and this one, and then we can press G to do that. So what we can do now is let's delete history here, and freeze transform and center the pivot. So what we can do, let's add some bevel right here, maybe, and then think make it something like 0.2 and 4 here. Okay, so this is gonna be the base for our light. So what we can do now is let's create the glass, the holder for our LED. We're gonna use LED strips to make this. So what we can do is let's increase this to like let's make it something like 2. Okay, and then maybe the height we can make it something like 55. So let's increase it this way. Yeah, something like this will be fine. And we just remove the center. So we have something like this. So we can now go to edge and select all of them, deselect this one and deselect this ones. So now we all only have this edges here selected. So we can just bevel it, just give it some nice bevel right there, and maybe 4 segments here. Maybe we can make this one 0.15. I think this would be nice. This is okay like this. Let's just give it some slight thickness. Okay, just extrude it, and I think 0.4, that's okay. That's fine. So what we can now do is just, it's at the center here. Yeah, I'm sitting right there. So what we can do now is, let's move it up a little bit, just slightly. Something like this is good. Okay, so what we can do now is, let's create our LED chips that we can use. So to do that, we can just use a simple ball like this, and let's position it just right here. And I want to reduce the subdivisions to like 10. Okay, so for this, I'm going to go to the vertex mode and just select this one and move it. So you can see we have created something that looks like a light bulb. Okay, so what we can do now is, I think it's too big. I'm going to reduce it to like something like this. I think this is gonna be fine. So what I'm gonna do now is, so let's come in here and position it a little bit. So just position it just a little bit right here. Okay, so what we can now do is, we will just spread this just around here. Okay, so before that, I'm just going to put it at the edges right here. Just put this one right here, and another one right here. Then I just take these two. If I can just combine them, go to mesh and combine. All right, and then duplicate it and move it up. So just go there and put it -1. So I can just okay, now so what we can do is, we grab this one right here. I would let it start from somewhere around here. So, and I'm going to duplicate it and move it to here, about that, and then I'll press Shift D to repeat the duplicate with the transform. And I think I like it as it's ending there. So what I can do is just grab all of them, just move them a little bit like that, and then I can also combine these ones, delete history, and duplicate it and move them up like so, like that. Then I can just scale them to reverse it like that, -1. Okay, now that we have that, we can now grab this one, just duplicate it, and maybe just delete these ones, and maybe actually just use it, rotate it this way 90. Actually this one you can do it more effectively if using a duplicate special, but I don't want to go into that one right now. So but a more effective way to do it is you can use, just grab one here and use duplicate special, and it can duplicate it along the axis, but I don't want to get into that right now. So I can just do it manually, and like this one here. So I can just go to face mode and delete these ones. So grab with this one, combine it, delete history, freeze transformation, then duplicate it and move it right here. Just put it there, freeze transform, and then I can just reverse it and -1 right there. So where is my, okay, yeah, fine, this is good. So now that we have all this, we can select these ones, all of them. I'm just gonna make all the light bulbs as one piece, so I'm gonna combine all of them, delete history, freeze transform, and let's go to make sure that we are working. Okay, fine, that is there. So right now what we can do is to take this one and group it. Let's call it LED, and we can think this is fine. So the next thing we need to do is let's create the mirror that will reflect these lights. Okay, so we create the mirror here. Let's bring it down here and make it something like 1.5 would be good, and the height, let's make it 60 and push it up somewhere around there and bring it at the back here. Okay, and we can also make the X like 45, so it's the same as this one right here. Okay, so we can just let's bring it down, maybe something like this, and just send it right there. Okay, maybe wouldn't, just to make it bigger, or we can reduce the space right here, and we can grab this one and just move it in a little bit like that. And for this one, let's give it some bevel, something like this. Okay, so this will be nice. And what we can do is we can duplicate it, because what happened is that for this to work, like what is happening here is there's a mirror, there's a glass in front of the light. There's a glass in front of this light, and there is a mirror behind the light. So this light is in between a mirror and the glass. So that's what creates that illusion that make it look as if there are so many lights, but actually it's only one light and the glass in front of it and the mirror behind it that reflects the glass. So that is what is creating that illusion. So what happened now is, what we can do is we put in this transparent glass here, but I think I'm gonna make this glass a little bit bigger, thicker, the thickness. So just increase it to be thicker like that. So because I want some strong refraction happening so that we can create that illusion. So what we have now is we are gonna make this completely transparent, and this one will be a mirror. Okay, so what we now need to do is, I've already created my camera. I call it so this will be my camera, our render cam. So what we can do, let's go back to just set it a little bit. Okay, maybe something like this will be nice. Let's go back to perspective camera. So now what we can do is let assign a material to this our base here. Let's probably give it and here we call it wood base. Okay, and we can give it maybe just increase the roughness because we don't want that to be reflecting. So just give it something like 0.8, and let's give it a wood material. So can just use this one. This is not important here. We can just give it auto map here and maybe go to the UV and increase, just tile it, something like that would be good. Not so important. Now this one, first of all, let's give this some I think we can just bevel this edge. Okay, just give it a slight bevel. Something like this will be good. Make it 0.3 and maybe smooth it. Nice. And this one, let's also give it a nice AI material. Let's call it LED chips, like that, and we will come back to it. And for this one, we just call it, just give it his own material and just leave it as it is. We're not gonna change anything, just leave the material like that. For this one, we will make it chrome material. Let's call it mirror, and let's give it a simple chrome, just the preset here, chrome, and that's it. Okay, now for this one, this is gonna be glass, so we give this one also its own material, and let's call it glass material, and we will just make it glass, and that's it. So now that we have our glass here, and we have our mirror here, and we have our light here, let's try to shoot a render to see how it looks. Let's make sure that we are rendering from the right camera. So now we don't see anything because we don't have a light. So now let's add the lights for this one. So what we need to do is we select the lights and we go to anode, go to lights and do a mesh light. So now Maya has attached lights in all of these those LED bulbs that we made. So what we need to do now is to increase the intensity to see. Let's increase it to like 5, and for this one let's make it something like 10. You see, now we begin to see enough light here, right? But still it's not having that infinity effect. So to achieve that, we need to increase the specular of our scene, right? So we go to render settings here, and we come here, and this is where that magic happens. You come to this ray depth, and on this specular tab here, if I increase it, make it 2, you see that we're beginning to see those infinity effects happening. All right, the more I increase it, the more we see what is going on right there. You can see we are having more and more, but the problem is that the more we go, the more that we don't have enough light to show. For example, if I continue to increase this, it's actually increasing inside, but we don't see it. So what can we do? So what we can do, first of all, is to work on this hourglass here. We need to increase the what do you call it, the refractivity that is happening here, so that we can be able to see more lights inside there. So if we go to the material here, and if we increase this index of refraction to like 2, you can see that we're beginning to increase the amount of light that we have inside there. And if we even go further, we will see more lights happening right there, right? So if we increase this one right now, we will see that we are beginning to have that effect that is going on right there. And now I think I don't like this this thing happening right here, which is the visibility of this hourglass. So I think I'm gonna turn it off. So here I will just turn off the primary visibility. So now we don't have that happening. So now we only have this our frame right here, but again, you don't see the light on these frames because we didn't make it visible. So if we click on this, now we can see that our light source is visible. Okay, so now let's go back to this class, because this class holds most of the secrets of that effect. So let's try to increase this index of refraction a little bit more. Now, the more we increase it, the more we have more light, but we also have another problem. You can see that we are having some like double light effect here, and that we can fix by reducing this one right here. So let's, first of all, before I shoot the final render, I want to change the color of this light. So here I can just select this one, and we have this, our lights coming like that. So before I'm gonna shoot the final render, I'm going to increase the some of these settings right here, so that we can get rid of some of the noise here. And also I made a video before on how to troubleshoot and find where the noise is coming from. So I will put the link to that video if you want to know. So what we can do here is, let's add some AOVs right here to be able to find out the source of the noise. I would like to include this one, diffuse direct and diffuse indirect. Let me put emission, and I think I will need specular direct and indirect. Let's put SSS and transmission. I think this is all I need, and I'm gonna add it right here. Now what happened is, when I click on this, I will see all those ones that I've added. You can see our diffuse. So now you see the noise is coming from our light source. So we need to increase the samples of this light. So you can see, if we select this light and we come to the samples, the sample right here, and maybe make it something like 8, you can see this noise here will begin to go away. But actually it's not only coming from this light. So let me keep this one, bring it back to like 2, and let's see other places that we are having noise. You see, we also have it diffuse indirect here, which means we need to increase our diffuse samples right here. Another place we have emission is fine, specular direct So for specular direct is also the lights samples here. So you can see we're having it here, and also specular indirect. You see we have a lot here. That means we also need to increase this one, and the light samples. So what we're gonna do before I shoot the final render, let me set my render cam a little bit more the way that we can see. Okay, just adjusting my render cam. Okay, this is fine like this. Just bring it. Okay, cool. I think I like it like this. So let's go back to my perspective here. So while this is here, what we're gonna do right now is I'm going to increase my light samples here to like, I'll stop the render to like maybe 5 or something, and then I'm going to increase my anti-aliasing here. I will increase my diffuse. I will increase the specular as well. And to get rid of this shadow lighting that we are seeing here, I'm going to reduce this emission here. I'm gonna make it 1, and that will help to reduce that shadow lighting that is happening right there, that's making it look kind of funny. So I think this one I also don't need so much. So here I will make this one something like 17, and I think this will be good for my render. Maybe try to make this one 4, and this specular right here, make it something like 5. I'm going to increase this one a lot more so we can see more effects going deep into the tunnel right there, creating a longer tunnel. I'm gonna make this one like 20. And what else do I need to do? And also for this, because if we have this one 20, we are not gonna see them so much, so we need to also come in and increase the intensity of the lights here to like maybe 6. Okay, and then what else do I need to check here? I think maybe this one, make it something like 3, and I think this one we don't really need it. Maybe this one as well, maybe just make it 0, because I don't want any shadow lighting happening right there. And then this one is fine, maybe 2 is okay. So let me see my samples here. Maybe I think this is fine, everything looking good. I think make this one like 12. So I think we are ready to shoot the final render here. So I'm gonna shoot a render to start happening, and then I will be right back. So the render is happening. Okay, so let's see how it's going. I'm gonna pause again, and then when it's finished I'll show you. So you can see this is the final render. You can see we're having that tunnel going deeper right there. So if you want more, you can also increase the number of the specular settings right here, and also this one as well. Sometimes when this one goes too high, and this one will clip it. So if you increase this one a little bit more, it will also increase the number of the effects that this one is contributing. And also by reducing this to 0, I completely eliminated those effects that we had here. That's shadow lighting there. If you make it like 1, it's gonna introduce it back. So it's up to you. You can try different things the way you want it. And also you can, I must also tell you that the distance between this and it also gives you a different kind of effect. So you can try different things that work for you, and let me know if you have any question in the comment section. And thank you for watching, and I will see you again in the next tutorial. Bye bye.